I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana, sitting next to Nash Jones, left tackle for the Texas State Bobcats. Left tackle? Is it the right? Are you on the left side of the line?
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's the strong side of it. Nash, you're here. You're in New Orleans. It's a city full of great food. Have you gotten to enjoy any of it yet, or how's your time been here?
Yes, sir. When we got in, we landed on the plane, and we went to Denise. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, but Denise Seafood. It was absolutely amazing. The fried fish was great. I had also had something a little different. They called it redfish. It was so super good, super good.
Oh, I know all about redfish. You can actually go in Texas down like Rockport or Port Aransas, go fishing out there, catch a bunch of redfish. I have some in my freezer from when I caught it. So if you ever need a recipe, let me know. It's probably not as good as out here, I'll be honest. But Nash, you're out here for media day, and it's pretty rare when you see a player that hasn't played a snap for a team is chosen to come out for media day. But that's the situation. But you have played snaps for GJ and Incarnate Word. But does that mean a little something extra for you to know that you're kind of looked at as one of the leaders of this team already?
Yeah, it really does. It means a lot. Um, I'm not very vocal, right? Well, on the football field, it's something totally different, right? But when it comes to like day-to-day stuff, I don't like to be the main guy in the spotlight and whatnot. And the coach has really challenged me to step up and fill that leadership position in that role because we got a lot of new guys coming to this team and we need to start doing this and start gelling. And so I accepted the challenge, and that's what I feel like I needed to do. And that's what I feel like I did. And so to be recognized for this position is it's really nice. It's really cool to see that my coaches see me in that light, to see that my peers see me in that light.
Yeah, and so many new players across the board, but specifically on the offensive line. I think it's what, 12 new offensive linemen, yourself included. You got here in the spring, so a few of you were there already. But now that everyone else has kind of come over summer, we've got like Bray Walker and Marks Alexander and Harkey coming in from Colorado. What's it been like getting to know these guys over summer? Do you feel like you're starting to find that cohesion, that chemistry that you'll need to be that unit on the offensive line?
Yeah, we're really starting to gel. Seeing the people, the old and the new, we still have a couple of guys, like you said, from the old staff, and then we have the 5 guys from UIW, then we got the guys from Oklahoma and Colorado, and we're starting to see that we're no longer, oh, he used to play for Texas State, we're no longer UIW, we're no longer Oklahoma, we're no longer Colorado, but we're now the Texas State offensive line group. And it's been a really big blessing to see. I'm starting to consider those guys to be my brother.
Yeah, and with so is there almost a comfortable level of relatability with everyone being transfers? It's almost like you're all transferred in. You're all kind of new. So does it almost feel like that you almost immediately bond on that aspect alone?
Yeah, because we're all struggling to find good food spots. We're all struggling to find where the movies are, where this is, where that is. And so as we all start to come together, I take my friend Danny to church with me. So we're all starting to do these great things and come together as a group. And having is like we're getting familiar with each other through unfamiliarity with San Marcos.
Yeah. If you ever need a good spot to eat, St. Mark's, hit my DMs.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
got
sir.
I got a few suggestions for you, no problem. Uh, Today going out there with GJ coming out, even his walk-up song, every other coach was the fight song or something for their school, and GJ comes out to Little Baby. He's just a little bit of a different coach, you
Mhm.
know. He's got a little bit of swag to him. Is that something you recognize when you're at Incarnate Word? You're like, man, I really want to follow somebody like that. It's not necessarily he may not be the most polished coach, because he's young, but you can see something special in him. Do you feel that with him?
Oh yeah, he's a very special individual, very special coach. Of course, we know the amazing football mind that he is, but then the thing that a lot of guys will talk about Coach Kenny about is he's a great human being, a great person. He's not a toxic coach. He's a great individual, and you just want to play for a guy like that. Seeing that he wears Jordans and he has pretty good shoe game is just like, okay, he's more than just a coach. He's a guy as well, and it kind of breaks down that wall that a lot of guys build up because we want to show respect to our coaches.
Yeah, it's funny you say the shoe thing. I know I was getting up earlier and I saw him from across the room, look right at my shoes. In my head, I'm like, I wonder if he's judging them. I wonder if he likes them because he's got a good shoe game. So I'm like, hope he likes my shoes too. But could just see his eyes go right for it. Summer workouts for you. We've been seeing a lot of Brett Hughes posting stuff, a lot of your great numbers in the weight room, seeing some of those videos of you squatting. What are you squatting?
The max was 550.
Man, that's a lot. So these summer workouts and getting stronger and getting bigger with these guys, how's that been going? How is it when you're watching other guys? Anybody else squatting 550 like you?
Man, is there? So shout two guys out, the twins, Emeka and Jamedo Obigbo. Those two dudes are great individuals, offensive linemen, of course, and they're squatting somewhere in the 550 to 575 range. Those two are animals when it comes to squat. We have Bray Walker, of course. He's squatting 575, and he can do more, of course, but they kind of slowed him down a little bit. You got Caleb Johnson. He's squatting the 500 plus. And then a cool thing is we got a couple skill guys who can go too. Caleb Colt from UIW, he squatted 500 pounds. And so just it goes to show that Brett Huth, we call it body by Huth. His thing is strength, speed, and power. We're going to be stronger than you. We're going to be faster than you. We're going to have more power than you. And so it just goes to show that we have a lot of strong guys in that weight room.
Caleb Culp, the safety, squatting 500.
Animal.
That's incredible.
Animal.
That's incredible. It's wild, the incarnate word players that transfer. I mean, we hear a lot about Cole Wilson, that vertical. You just mentioned the Bebo brothers, Caleb Johnson, Dorian Strawn. It's impressive that, I mean, because even yourself, when you were in the portal, you had P5 offers, but you still wanted to come follow and stay in this system. Is it a belief in this offense, a belief in the coaching staff? Is it all of the above, or what is it specifically that you really believe in?
It is all of the above. Like I said beforehand, only reason why I left Yardo was because I felt like God told me it was time to go. And as I was weighing on my options, and I knew I had 2 years left, I could go to a different place and work hard, really fight for that and earn that spot, or I could go to a place where the coaches know who I am and know the talent that I bring. Not only that, but is the culture that the coaches instill wins games. Firsthand, I saw it. And so high school career was a little iffy, won't lie. We didn't win too many games. Senior year was 2-8. And then we switched. I've only lost 5 games in all of my college career. So there's definitely a winning formula here that the coaches have. And so I just want to follow that all the way through and keep winning games with you guys because I feel like this team does nothing but win games.
Yeah, and I've asked you a lot about GJ Kinney, but of course Jordan Shoemaker, the offensive line coach as well. You obviously have a relationship with him as well, going from Incarnate Word to Texas State. Tell us a little bit about Jordan Shoemaker. Every time I look at him, I'm like, you could throw some pads on him, put him on the line right now. He's ready to go.
Stone Cold Killer. One of the best stories that I've seen or heard about him because we were there at the North Dakota State game. Whenever they score a touchdown, they fire cannons, and it's a dome, so the sound echoes. The first time, but we didn't know that when they first scored and they shot the cannon, everybody jumped up and went like that, and he's just stone cold, no reaction, just there. He's never too high, never too low. He's always even keel, always worried about the next play. If it's a good play, it's not that good. If it's a bad play, it's not that bad. And so just having that even kill, stone cold killer on the offensive line as a coach, it's just been great for me because sometimes I can get too high and it helps me bring me back even. Sometimes I can get too low and he brings me back up. And so, and also too, he's a great technician. Like he knows the game of football well. He knows his techniques. He knows how to teach them. He knows them well. He knows his run game, his pass game. He knows the techniques and he teaches them well. And he has that trust in us. And so it's really great to go out there and play for this guy because you know that he's putting you in the best position possible. And then the funny thing too is he's still an animal. He's still big, strong. I know he can still throw up at least 3 plates on the bar when it comes to benching. And so it's to see a coach who looks like that and with his stature, but then also is kind-hearted and not sweet because he's not a sweet individual, but he has that almost like he is a father, so he has that father feel for us. It's really nice and really great for us.
Yeah, maybe not sweet, but he definitely cares.
Right. Yeah.
He'd hate it. Called him
Not sweet. Not sweet at all.
Quarterback situation, obviously got TJ Finley coming in. We had Malik Hornsby there in the spring. Had CJ Rogers. We got PJ Hatter, the freshman, coming in. It's a pretty busy quarterback room. So I imagine the offensive line been having to work a little bit with each of them. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you who you think the starter is or any of that type of stuff. But what's it been like working with these guys and how different they are? Specifically, like TJ to Malik, they're 2 different kinds of quarterbacks. You got TJ, a big, tall guy. Malik's the speedster. Do you have to adjust your game at all on the line for whenever a new guy's under center?
Well, yeah, you would have to adjust your game, of course, because if you got a scrambler back there, well, you can trust and believe that if you may make a mistake, he can get out there and go do what he got to do. But then if you don't have a scrambler back there, you really got to lock in and give him enough time to diagnose the defense. And so, of course, with different people, it's going to be different. I can't wait to see who wins that battle because we have three great pieces that could easily fill in and do what they have to do.
You know, they have you in the coaches poll fifth in the Western Division, 10th overall in the entire Sun Belt. How's that make you feel when you hear that? When you look at that, do you think they're underestimating you guys at all?
Of course, because I'm in it, I'll be a little biased. Of course, I feel like they're underestimating us. I see all the disrespect that Texas State gets, and even though I'm a transfer coming in, I'm used to winning, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to win, and so to see a lot of the certain media people come in and give us this grade, knowing the changes that have been made, of course, it does something to us because we're working our tails off every single day. The guys in that room, we're going to go out and perform like we need to perform because we have that type of caliber, that type of talent on the team. And so I do believe that we're better than the fifth. Of course, I believe we're better than the 10th as well. And so we'll get our time. We'll go out there and we'll go prove it.
Yeah, it's media people, but it's not me. They don't ask my vote. I don't know why, but I wouldn't mind. I'll leave you with this one. I know we're kind of crunched on time here, but for you get one night in New Orleans. You got one more night tonight. What's the one plate of food you want to seek out and find? You had fish last night. There's a
Uh,
lot of options: gumbo, Creole, a lot of options.
I love this. Is I want a plate of red beans and rice, good red beans and rice, and then I want to get a beignet with it as well.
Ah, nice. Yep, yep. I don't know. It's Cafe Du Monde, producer Priya. He's shaking his head. Yeah, they might still be open. Go check out Cafe Du Monde. It's not too far. We got beignets there. And I know right across the street from here is like the Creole House. It's where I got
Mhm.
the Gator po' boy. They had a red beans and rice. Zach almost got it, my producer over there. He almost got the red beans and rice. So you may be able to walk across the street and check it out.
Nice.
But Nash, this has been awesome. I'm gonna get to bug you a lot in fall camp and all during the season, so I'll keep it somewhat short this time. But thanks for giving us your time, and I'm glad
Yes,
you're here
sir.
in New Orleans.
Of course.